BWOne here from BWOne.com, and it's time to give you my unboxing and in-depth first impressions look at the AT&T Optimus G Pro. So this is our unboxing of the LG Optimus G Pro for AT&T. We just had the launch event just a couple of days ago on our hands-on, and AT&T was nice enough to send along their review unit for us. Pretty awesome here. So it has typical AT&T packaging with the logo here on the back and the AT&T logo here, and then the phone itself here on the back here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see what we have. I have a nice big Optimus G Pro. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's see what else we have inside the box here. Nothing you're going to read. You probably don't care about that. And here's the cool stuff. No headphones, but you do get the micro USB cable and the wall adapter. I don't know why I was so stumped on that, but the wall adapter here, a little larger of a wall adapter. Interesting. I wonder if it charges a little bit quicker because of that. Because the battery is 3100 milliamp hours, and at least you know this QA passed this USB cable. Well, enough of that. Let's go ahead and come back here to the Optimus G Pro itself. Let's see here. Let's peel off this plastic. There's probably a ton of it on here. All right. Peel off the plastic there. Nothing. Well, it looks like there's no plastic here on the front. I don't think. Doesn't look like it. No. Probably some on the side here. But as you can see, nice beefy phone here. The first thing you notice obviously is the 5.5-inch display. Go ahead and let this power up. Hopefully there's some juice in here. Hopefully, and doesn't look like it has any battery power in it. Disappointing. A lot of times they come with at least half battery. No battery this time, but we'll charge it up in just a bit. Looks like you have your power button here, volume marker here. Let's give another power button. That actually might be the power button here. This might actually be the camera button. Not exactly sure here, but we'll figure that out a little bit later. You have your home button here at the bottom. You have your touch sensitive buttons here on the side. You have your 2.1 megapixel front facing camera. You have your 13 megapixel rear facing camera here on the back, capable of 1080p HD video recording, speaker, and your LED flash here. Now this have a removable back cover. Let's go ahead and pop that off here. I think we pop it off here at the side. That's one of the things that I didn't figure out at the event was actually how this battery actually came off. I think that might be this side here. Yep, it is. Okay, so that button there is just to get the battery door open. I guess that's what all that actually does, maybe. All right, so you see right here we have a large 3140 milliamp hour battery with no juice in it currently. And you have your SIM card slot here, micro SIM. And it looks like we have a micro SD card slot here, capable of up to 64 gigabytes of additional storage. It does come with 32 gigabytes built in. So, and I think about 23 gigabytes of that is usable. We snap all that back on here. Internally does come with a 1.7 gigahertz quad core Snapdragon processor inside of it, 2 gigabytes of RAM, does run Optimus UI with Android 4.1.2. So that's pretty much the specs that we run down with it. Obviously, the 5.5-inch display is one of the biggest things. Full 1080p HD display. Not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but full 1080p HD display right here with a 400 DPI on it. So we're gonna go ahead and let this bad boy charge up for a little bit here, and then we'll take a tour of the software and take a look at what the Optimus G Pro comes with and give a little first impressions. Okay, we've got it charged up, and I've actually spent about a full day here with the Optimus G Pro. We're going to do sort of my first impressions here with it. Optimus G Pro is such a long name to say. We're going to cut that down. We're just going to call it the G Pro. I think that's a pretty cool name for it, the G Pro. And so for the first things you notice about it, you know, it's 5.5-inch display, so you feel like it's going to be sort of a big phone, but it actually doesn't feel too bad in the pocket. It feels pretty good in the hand. Definitely people with smaller hands, it's going to be a little awkward for them, especially with the screen size and such, but overall it feels pretty good. Feels a little bit lighter than the Galaxy Note, actually, Galaxy Note 2, but this is more of a phone, so I feel like this competes more with the Droid DNA than really sort of the Galaxy Note, which is more that smartphone, tablet, phablet sort of hybrid. But it's so far it's been a pretty cool experience. Interesting things with it. LG's Optimus UI, that 5.5-inch display is definitely noticeable, very bright and vibrant here. Let's go ahead and unlock it. Unlocks into here, and one of the things you notice about Optimus UI, it's really about the graphics and customization and sort of that wow factor that they're really trying to go for here. Now that can be good in some ways, but it feels a little bit cluttered at times here, especially when you swipe down the notification section. You have pretty much everything under the sun as far as notifications are concerned. And you have your Q slide apps and your brightness, and then you have your notifications that'll show up here at the bottom, and your settings, and just so much stuff going on all at the same time. Same thing here if you go to the let's actually unlock the auto here, brighten this up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. But when you first open this app drawer, it's like, wow, there's so much stuff here. It's it can be very overwhelming. You can actually change the size of this actually. If you show larger icons, it'll makes it a little bit easier to kind of view here. But with so many icons on one page, it really does have that look of like, oh man, there's a lot of stuff here, and it feels like a lot of bloatware has been installed as well too. You have a lot of AT&T apps and different movie apps, LG Tag and things of that nature already pre-installed, so it can feel a little bit bloated. I would definitely say that when you first look at it here, definitely sort of can be a little bit overwhelming. The slide animations are something pretty cool. I customized this out. I think this is sort of the zoom in and zoom out animation that I found. We'll go over more of Optimus UI and probably in a separate video here, but they really do give you a lot of options for customization. Like for example, we'll move this icon here, and if I actually don't touch it, don't move it rather, and just kind of let it do that right there, you'll see that there was a little icon that showed up. Let's do that again. And you can actually hit that little paintbrush icon unless you customize out what you want that icon to be. So if you want your music icon to be something different, like you want it to be, I don't know, just M for music to make it simple, you can change it just like that. And they have preset ones here you can use, but you can also change to different ones if you want to. Change to a larger icon if you want. And you can actually create a photo icon. So I can select the photo from my gallery. So let's see if I have, go into here, and let's say I want, for whatever reason, this picture to be, you can crop it. I'll just make it this, some random reason. Now that's your music icon. If you want it to be, actually looks pretty cool as a music icon. But let's go ahead and change it back to the standard one here. Another thing that you saw here, sort of this resize, let's go back. You sort of saw this resize here. It's pretty cool. When you do that, you can actually resize it out. And if you resize it out in the right way, this icon might not work because there might not be enough space on here. Let's try that again. All right, actually, let's move this, and let's try it again. All right, no, that one won't customize. I know there's other ones that will. I think the gallery will do it. Let's move that. I think we'll move the gallery up. You can see it turns into sort of a widget right there. And I thought that's pretty cool. You can choose an album or so, or shrink it back down. So it's a pretty interesting value add there. So I can go into settings. They do have this sort of compartmentalized layout. Pretty interesting, makes it easier to go around. They do a good job of explaining what each sort of area, which each setting actually does. Pretty nice stuff there. You have battery life so far with it. I've been using it for a pretty good time throughout the day, and it's about 70% at discharge here. So it does pretty good on the battery life sake of things, especially has a 3140 milliamp hour battery. So you really would expect that, especially with the such a large display with it. Let's actually go back out of apps and show you some of the storage options here. Storage is pretty good. Like, you get 32 gigabytes, but they have so much crammed into this. You're only gonna get about 23 gigabytes available, which is still pretty good, but you do have micro SD card storage available, so you can add to that. One of the things I've had to get sort of used to is is sort of the way they have this switched out. So they have back here on this side and menu on this side. A lot of phones have it the other way around, so it's been getting a little bit used to with that. But other than that, I use the camera here for a little bit. Camera has an interesting layout, something a little bit different here. You have to get a little bit used to it, but it's pretty interesting. So far the pictures have been pretty decent. Let's actually check out some of the pictures. We'll actually leave it in landscape mode here and go to the gallery, see if we can check out some of the pictures that we have. Take a zoom in on it. 13 megapixel camera. That's pretty good, some pretty good shots here. One of LG's better cameras, I'd have to say, so far. Speed wise, it's been pretty fast for the most part. I haven't seen any really slowdowns or anything like that. It's been pretty smooth ride, pretty good experience. It's gonna take, obviously we're gonna take some time with this. Probably gonna spend about a week, maybe even 2 weeks here. Probably about a week and a half. Actually doing a review on this before we put our final review out for it. We're gonna have more coverage of it. We'll definitely go over Optimus UI and some of the unique features, take a look at the camera and all those sorts of things. And be sure to be subscribed to our YouTube page here. Check us out on all other social networks and our main website at BWOne.com for all the latest coverage on the LG Optimus G Pro, or the G Pro as I'm gonna call it, or anything else related to tech with BWOne.com. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition.